Good morning, folks. It's 9:03 a.m. Excuse me a minute. All right, where'd everybody? On the second month, first day, 2025. I want to show you who's still fucked, and I'm going to tell you why. What geoengineering it took. Because if I went into the why, we'll go in a rabbit hole about land grabs, agendas, and maps that exist, and why this part of town has been selected for right about here. It has been selected for some extra attention. Is that a whole lot of these areas over here have been evacuated. Not enough warning is being given, but when you got a mountain like this, Mount Stewart over here, and the water condensates are coming in this direction, it's going to drop a lot of falls that way because the pressure of the mass of water running into that causing lift is going to drop its condensates more toward the coast. And then if you add to it EMF beams like is going on here in this image here, creating walls of flow or like simulating a mountain in the sky where it also can experience such lift and drops, you're going to get some very terrible falls along this coast, and it hasn't ended yet. We've had some chem bombs deployed out here and making some rather large masses of storms that are creeping towards this. I'm expecting these totals to move inland now. And so you guys over here are going to start getting ready to see some of the treatment of 200 and 300 mils of rain coming your way. Now the center of this radar here is also doing one of those circle pulses like I pointed out yesterday. If I run this through, you'll pick it up. How it's pulsing through here in a circle, right? Sometimes the center beam moves a little left and right, but I think that's a centering problem of the computer program that you're not seeing here. And this has been full on. And it doesn't do this all the time. If they tell you this is a glitch, then ask them why does this glitch have an effect on the clouds mass itself. Bowen has been quite active, shooting a beam off from the spaceport out here, causing a flow line that again helps hem stuff. And then we add this beam here, right? So I'll do a markup for you now to show you what's going on. I want the beam to be up when I hit this. Oops, right, I want that on. So let's do a markup for you, and I'll show you the flow that's been created by electromagnetic frequency via NextRad radars, which I showed you their locations yesterday, so I really won't go into that today. So let's see what color we got here. White will do. Right, we got one here, right? So this here is a separate flow because that's hot. It's moving toward that cooler air, and it's moving that way on that side of this. So this forms a line of solidity right here. Now that stuff coming up to it tends to turn like that, right? Now we have beams coming out from here as well, creating a flow line here. All these are pointing at that NextRad station over here, right? My lines ain't exact, so I'm not having a straight edge on it, but if you do this homework yourself, you'll see this plain as day. So all this is pinned. It can't flow down coast. It can't freely flow inland yet. It is meant to fall heaviest in this area here, heaviest in that area here. And the radar image is showing me this, right? It shows that plain as day. Now when I come up here and I add in what's going on with Kansas beams, and they are, Kansas frying you too. And so you can see where lines did it create of flow. And using these flow lines, we can determine where the heaviest rains are going to go. There's one of their beams shooting down here. Right? It's going in past in its fail even. So we can see this corridor of flow. If I zoom this out quite a bit, you'll get the big picture of how they're aiming the river of moisture here behind it, or creating the flow lines of higher resistance that things don't want to go past. So we got the flow line set. All right. Now things that come in through here will spread into here, right? I think the line was hewed in right there. Okay. Notice this square look here. That took 2 radars to do. Bowen fired and Townsville fired to make that square mass of clouds that you've been seeing. But you can see the coastal flow is shut. This is coming this way, and it's going to have an outflow of heated air going that direction towards it, right? Going this way, because it'll go on each side of the beam. It'll also go upwards and downwards from the path of a beam, right? Heated outflow in all directions, fairly infinitely. Hi, that's the sun we don't get to see. I don't know if I just drew something, a prophylactic thing here or not. So we know for a fact that this flow here is set to happen. Right here, the line south of Innisfail. It's pretty much a good, accurate line of where the flow is changing. And you're not out of the way. I'd say nearly up from Presper Pine, you got problems coming. And so I'm going to run through what they say is going to happen. And I'm going to tell you what I say is going to happen, and I'm going to say why it's going to happen, and they never do. When they never show you the chem or the heated outflows created by NEXRADs and big ships at sea. You have one right now out there well north of New Caledonia that's created a beam in 3 directions that's changed the river of moisture itself that's going to cause a cyclone to form up there in that area. And it's sending the water in a different direction. I'll show you that as well. Hey, Townsville, you see, man, you guys are still well fucked. And we know why. Why is this storm not proceeding higher above Tully and Innisfail? Why? Why is it taking a flow from west of there to connect with that tendril to bring anything north? Because the flow is fixed with EMF and the beam's about to be turned off in cans to make that flow come across. Yep. So I'm expecting that to occur. Their glitch will be fixed. Yep, the wicked glitch of the can corridor rides again. Townsville, you're still super fucked as she's heading inland. Now some of these totals are going to get well evident along this plane in here. But I'm more concerned about towns along this river here. The Ross River and these that are not normally running huge. You know, you might have cabiny things. Oh, you got a lot of hills putting water around here. So if you know anybody's camping down there, well, I imagine by now they've gotten out. But you want higher ground sometimes, and watch out for slides and landslides and stuff. Watch out for crocs. I have to keep saying I'm not talking about shoes floating by either. We're talking about mashers. And Mount Stewart is causing a lot of the demise, and its sticky up bits are being used to drop condensates. As even this flow here is showing 3/4 of a centimeter an hour. We're into very early hours of Tuesday morning. You know, this event is not over. You got a couple more days of absolutely monsoon rains where it's going to absolutely piss it down, and that's over 1.5 centimeters an hour falling in these spots, and you're getting hours of this. This is a long sustained man-made land grabbing flooding event because they want to build back better, put smart city technology in. They will spy on your every move and tax your every existence, like these weird taxes they have to bring your car to a city center that you paid for the roads for. How that's hurting craftsmen and stuff that go in and work in these cities isn't even being put into account. And whether they're going to lock these doors off from you even going through the neighborhoods that you want to walk through when you want to walk, you better get on the litigation of that now, because smart cities full of dumb people do really stupid things. They go along with stupid. If I'm watching man-made floods over here burying an island out here between Lucinda and Caldwell, I'm not even sure what its name is. Hinchinbrook National Park, Island Park over here is getting lynched. Lynchbrook, yeah, you're getting lynched. What a fucking shame. The Simpsons, helicopter hitting a plane is not the picture that's going around. Our pilot's clutch shot dropping and they're blaming it on mechanical failure. I want to know for sure what's in our sky. We deserve an honest answer. They're booming and pluming. Your sky plume that wild stank. Is your air smelling like sulfur over there around Cairns? Because I picked up a bit of what looks like a sulfur plume And when the sunlight hit it here off the coast of Kansas today, I caught just a little picture of it. I was seeing a sulfury look to some of these, the yellowness to the sky. Right here. See that? I don't think that's desert dust, and they're not marking any fires. So whatever's in this yellow cloud of shit that deployed, I think is deployed a sulfur plume over the ocean. And that'll be where sunlight's hitting that straight on. But again, the color it's very indicative of a sulfur plume. Okay, so I want to know if it smells like burnt matches out there in this town area here. That's you guys. There's fuel in a storm over the Easter Cuckoo Walja. How about that? Yeah, look up towards the sea and take a picture at sunset tonight or now even and get it posted on my wall. Another thing I'm noticing when I look at this picture straight off is the scalar squares that are setting the flow on the high and the low deck. You can see it plain as day. And so I'll show you how to see it plain as day. White's not going to work for this one. How about that? I got a scalar square of energy here. Right? The storm itself is a huge square. Coming right there. Right? Got big scalar squares of energy out here. And that's going to control flow. It's going to pin things. That one there with all the condensates wiped out. Looks like they put more catalyst to help propagate the waveform. There's skeleton heads sticking through the clouds there. What a Chermbombs that is, huh? Chembomb. You know, chemical catalyst to help propagate electromagnetic frequency waveforms. And I can't tell you exactly what device did that. Or I can't tell you exactly which device. Now, I've had a beam go off out here. I created a line like this. Right here in between these gaps. You see it line up here in the condensates itself. So I had a lot over a memo. I see this out here in the ocean. Let's see this one. Right out here where I'm circling my thing. You see that? That's a beam. See, it's very well pronounced. So you have a ship out here. And absolutely got a ship. So we can see that these things that they often say are glitches, they do have an effect on cloud mass and atmospheric dynamics. Right? Because here's the beam. You know, there's a ship here. And its beams have come down like that. Now across your coast, you've had a big one. Came down from this area here, and it beamed across. So you have a ship in international waters beaming you. I'll show you. Look over here now. I'll go to Western Australia and let this roll. I'm going to go back a jump and a jump. You see this here? How this beam sweat? It's all coming from this square area that's right out here in the sea. So some ship in international waters is beaming up. You also have a square that's just appeared over Xmas. So its beam has come across. So the propagation of the waveform is now doubled in this one area. It'll make it seismically active. Another place I'm concerned about is the Philippines from a beam I've seen up here. That's impacted them. It came up through here and crossed over here. So I was going to raise their earthquake risk as well for about this island here. Right here, pretty much exactly right around here. I have to raise their earthquake risk because they're moving the river of moisture around. It created a cyclone here that's going to truck off to the west. And you're going to have one farm here that's going to cruise down toward New Zealand. And until it gets to about that islands over here, I ain't going to know if whether it's going to hit land or go out to sea. I'm going to tell you that straight off. The EMF beams always decide where the main masses of water are going to go. Where they're going to go. So I'm going to let this beam roll through so you can see it. Timestamp it and everything. Big blaster, man. Big blast. Big blast. Bzzz, getting fried by a fucking ship at sea. International waters blasting you. Absolutely blasting you. So that's why I say they're moving the river of moisture again. And that's pretty much causes an El Nino type effect in weather dynamics themselves. You see a lot of plumes here off the coast here over the Great Barrier Reef. It's not naturally occurring cloud formation there, folks. That's Chermbombs plumes. See that one there with it shuts some off, boom, 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 boom. It's kind of obvious. But you know, if you don't want to acknowledge the obvious, well, I can't fix stupid. It goes away all on its own. It might have blown out area there. And fire data is not accurately showing the fires that I'm hearing are going on in Tassie, down in the south part of their island. So I wanna have a zoom in real quick and show you that data is being hidden of a fire that's been going on. It's burned over 170 something acres, or is it hectacres? I'm not 100% sure. Thank you for that info. But we've got a fire down here, kind of near their super darn station, I have to point out, and it's not being properly shown on the maps like these fires here with these double nut fires over here. And it's Grandpa's fire again. But man, one of the most obvious man-made burns today is occurring up north, well north of here. If you look at this one over here, on this area here, which is the Southern Tanami Indigenous Protected Area. Well, they're protecting you right here, ain't they? Come on, man. Look at the trapezoids. Exact. Look at the domino squares of dice over here. That's right, man. They're slapping the bones on the table hard today. And this is the deliberate burning of your heritage while you're also concerned about your heritage. How many rock paintings are going away today? How much history is gone that can prove that you do have a heritage, that you didn't just get hatched and cloned on this planet out of some Elon Musk type birthing chamber, maybe created by fucking Stargate. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, man-made fires are quite going on. If I don't turn that off, I'm gonna start swearing. Hey, so I'm not gonna do that. Hey, so you've been beamed and plumed and boomed and plumed, and I'm gonna just roll this part now so you can see what's going on. I'll zoom it on back. I just kind of look where you live. You're not the only one getting weather today, so I'm gonna bring some of Vanuatu into the picture here because they got some event going on for them. And they got an event going on for New Caledonia's eastern side, where they got devastating floods coming too. The monsoon rains, man. They spread the chem and it soon rains. If man is altering the weather, man is changing the climate, and man needs to stop changing the climate by geoengineering and quit blaming a cow that doesn't farts. Hey, just because it's a noise don't mean it contains a high concentration of methane. Yeah, I blame Mr. Methane, man. He's pushing them out on purpose. And even half him, if he's drawing air, he's lying. It ain't methane. He probably have to concentrate the light one. Anyways, look at all the cyclonic systems moving across the areas there of the open oceans that I don't really see many of them being a threat to land. The action that's about to hit in Carpentaria was set up by that beam. Is really going to block moisture towards that area, just like those flows the NEXRAD set up over there in far north of Queensland. The fucked North Queensland, as I should called it. Yep. But it ain't like I didn't give you warning. Plenty of warning. Don't ever let the BON said it was not possible to do. Because if they learn to acknowledge geoengineering, flow boundaries, and that a glitch is just an excuse for something you don't understand. That's right. And if you ignore obviousnesses, you're just ignorant. Don't be ignorant. And the terrible totals are absolutely disgusting. I'm not going to take you into the 10 or anything. As I told you, I have to see a beam. This is around the time I'm nervous that that's going to curve Okay, so I'm going to be watching that storm very, very closely, and I have no concern for that one that's farming off Western Australia. I'm concerned about the rains across the top. Is it sugarcane planting season? Because I know you can't plant it when it's wet. I've seen some pictures of the cane that don't look harvestable yet. That's May and June, isn't it? Yeah, let's see about that day of rain for Melbourne that I was tracking in my head. Right about here is when we should start seeing some rains coming through here. None's showing on the map. The dynamics say so. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I got a sideways lean on these two pressures pumping cold air up into the plane in here. You're going to have some cold air coming through the mountains. Yeah, so you're going to need some warm clothes. Looking okay, Tamworth. You're starting to head towards those times when you're going to have some fair pleasant days. Well, you can't say it's going to spray or not. But the dynamics are all there for those afternoon showers that Australian mountains are so famous for. Okay, so be vigilant. I don't want to go too much further than this because I have a lot of questions to answer for myself before accuracy becomes involved. But the 10-day totals are still absolutely fucked coming inland. I think that's fair accurate. They had one that just shows a pocket over Townsville. I see it's near impossible for this one to be accurate. If it decides to change its graphic. Now the way they got things pinned from cans, this is a very well possible of that this is an accurate 2-day total for here. Yeah. Well, I want to see about 400 millimeters, excuse me. I don't want to see 400 meters of nothing. 400 meters of people standing in line to fucking change the world would be nice. Yeah, so you are fucked. You're still fucked along this creek. You're still fucked by this railroad crossing, England, because they want a new interchange there. Yep. They're sticky up at that mountain bit. Catching this flow isn't helping, especially down through here. I bet this neighborhood's having a real hard time over there from Arnott Creek, over there by the Bruce Highway, the bumpiest road I've ever been on. I thought Interstate 40 between Chapel Hill and the beach was bumpy, or between Raleigh, it shook your feelings out. Not good at all. Seems a bit low. But we know that Bowen put up a dividing line, right? We know that Cairns did a dividing line. So that this area is fair accurate. So I'm going to go with this. 0.5 meter to come. 600 mils in a few of these spots. I already know that. And I don't need them to tell me it. And I'd like you guys to show me what you got in your backyard water gauges that you've been tracking rain in, as this event is not over. Many days of wet still to come for the far north of Queensland, as the disastrous policy of solar radiation management is used for the commodities market and for grabbing land and agendas. I have to say, have you been warned out west here that you're fucked? Have you been told yet that I call this the Mount Isa corridor because there's a road through here that definitely wants autonomizing, so they have automatic driving things that you don't get paid to do. Between Hughenden and Maxwell Town, I'm going to give you a big heads up, as this curved road corridor that has been planned a long time is coming to fruition through man-made rains, man-made floods, and disasters fueled by electromagnetic frequency and aimed by your weather radars. Big love, stay safe, peace.